which it's hard to find.
Yeah.
That's what we're finding, like people supporting.
I'm surprised you guys haven't gotten in contact with Kayla Kelly, owner of Mustard Roots Boutique. She's
I think
very popular
seen.
too.
I've seen her boutique, but I've never been or anything.
Yeah, she has more of a boho style, but she's super. I mean, she started out too, like on Facebook,
right? Yes.
And she would do like LuLaRoe on Facebook, and then from there she created her own boutique. Okay. And, she started creating and making her own jewelry and stuff, and she's like blooming up in the city. Yeah. So you guys.
I've definitely heard of her.
Yeah.
Again, I feel because I'm so new to the game. Like, I was pretty excited that they accepted me.
Yeah. That's awesome,
know, because
it's hard.
Right.
It's definitely hard for you to message someone. You're putting yourself out there like, hey, I need help. And
la mayoría no te ayudan.
Yeah, and for somebody to actually reply
what did she say?
Positive feedback.
La mayoría no ayudan.
No, es la verdad. Sorry, I couldn't hear.
Yeah, they don't help you. Or it's just like they read your message and they don't reply.
Literally.
And then you see them, you're like, obviously, I'm reaching out to you. Like, don't make it awkward.
Yeah.
You know?
Why are we like that as women? Like, es celos, es envidia.
Creo que es la envidia que radica mucho en la cultura de los mexicanos.
It has to be jealousy because you don't know them. You've never seen them in person to like rub them the wrong way.
Yeah, to me it's just like if you go in the grocery store, there's like 10 brands of bread.
Right.
But they all sell out.
Right.
Yeah.
So why can't
I mean, como dicen, hay sol para todos. Yeah. Pero, I don't know, like,
todos con los dichos.
Porque si no, imagínate, si nos hubiéramos puesto así negativas las tres, de, no eres mi competencia, nunca saldríamos. No. But I think we all have, like, a different style. There's enough people for everyone, you know, like enough customers. But it is true. I'm a strong believer. I do think Hispanics are super, like, they don't want to see others grow in the same community. And that's so sad. And that comes, like, I live in Mexico. That comes from over there. Like, and I'm not saying just, like, Mexico. Not just Mexico. Sí, siempre. Gente muy, like, envidiosa. Like, no quieren ver a otra gente crecer. No. It's, like, so negative.
That's so sad, though.
Yeah.
Or if they see you, like, because I've heard that, like, oh, that's so easy to do. Like, how hard can that be?
Right.
I'm like, well, you're not doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
or they always have something, like,
they
negative.
always have something negative to say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not negative. Like, we're women. We have kids. Like, yes, we may not be the breadwinners of the family, but we're still pulling some weight.
Though,
you know what I mean?
I think women do a lot, and it's sometimes not appreciated at all. I mean, I don't have kids, but I see my mom.
You're like, I don't have kids, but I say, but you're a tía.
Hey, but estoy tía. Like super. No, trust me. Like, if you ask them, I spend probably more money on those kids than the parents do.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, I spoil my kids. Like, my kids. My nephews, like none other. Like, it's, I love those kids. And they do let me dress them. Like, I buy, like, super fashion things, and they take it from me, but they won't take it from their moms. Oh. Like, it's crazy.
I need to have a fashion tia then.
Yeah. Well, I have one.
Yeah.
Not me. I don't have a tia, but I have one in my family that is a tia to my kids.
Okay.
But my kids don't listen to her. So
whatever. Yeah, they listen to me.
They don't. Yeah. They love her, but they don't care.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever. So, Women's Fair. You guys are going to be at the Women's Fair.
Yeah.
Yes. April 23rd through the 25th. Yeah.
What are you guys going to do there? Have a pop-up shop there? Or what exactly?
Yeah, so it's like a booth, and we're all three going to be showcasing it. And I think it's very exciting because we're the only, as of now,
the three Latinas in the Women's Fair.
So, I really hope that we can get...
Yeah, we want to invite like the Latino community to like join because I don't think there's a lot of audience, a lot of people that go
know about
that.
it.
Maybe a lot of people don't know it or they just don't know what to expect.
Or maybe they think it's like an American thing.
Yeah.
Maybe,
which I could see that.
Which I wonder if maybe they should start doing a Latino version of the
That
Women's
would be
Fair.
a good idea.
That would be a very good idea.
La Feria de las Mujeres.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I think there's enough like businesses.
Yeah, tons everywhere. And it's not just fashion or food. It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
We have so much talent. And I feel like with COVID, everyone tapped into their inner talent. Everyone came out
that thing that you wanted to do but never had time.
There's
now we had time.
Our creativity, just not mine, but people's creativity went out the window.
Yes.
And you're just like out there. And I'm like, I don't know, sometimes I'm like looking through Facebook and I see like, oh, this person has like a jewelry line. And I'm like, I never knew they were into jewelry.
Yeah, I know. I've seen some people like crocheting. And
stuff.
I was like,
or painting,
like tops and stuff.
For
I was like, wow, that is fun. And then you know what? I'd be the one on TikTok that sees the hats that get knitted, and then I like the easy way out. They have like this machine and they just go like that really fast and it knits itself.
Oh, okay.
I would do that. I was like, man, I should buy one of those and sell hats. And I was like, for what? No, I'm not really gonna do it.
Yeah, no. I'd rather support someone than me do it because it's just like I see the work that's in there and I just can't. I can't.
Which I don't know why you say that because you're like creative. As hell.
Am creative, but I'm like in the closet creative. Like I
you need to come out.
I need to. No, I can't. I tried with something and it was just.
But what is it that is holding you back?
It's just me. Like I'm a control freak. So I need to control perfection. It. Yes. I need to control it myself. I need to be the one that's like brain wise. I need to be the one controlling who sees it. I need to be controlling like who touches it, who's around it.
You're just working harder.
Yes. Because I used to do cake pops. And my kids
were bomb. She's so good at it.
And my kids would be like, make me some. I'm like, no. I wouldn't make them any, like my family, none of them. Because I'm like, I only do it for people that are, that I can't say no to.
Right.
And then it got to a point where I couldn't say no. I just couldn't. And it was just overworking myself. And then I had a full-time job.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, my house was a disaster. Yeah. And then like my dogs were unhealthy. They were like not happy.
So were you doing it? Was it a business?
Dogs all the way down?
Because they were put away because like, I don't want hair in my kitchen. Right. Like my kitchen needs to be sterile at all times. Like my kids can't touch it. Don't come in. Like my phone would be off. Like it was horrible. And
I was about to place an order.
I hated it. So when I see people like you guys that have a business and you guys are like have a normal life and then I see you guys on social media like living life, taking vacations, being happy, I'm like, damn, what was I doing wrong?
It's hard.
I always enjoy have you seen the post that says Beyonce has the same 24 hours? I always think about that. I'm like, dang, this girl has 3 kids. Yeah. She's like literally like I see Beyonce like she does everything, like, and it's true. She's like human. She has 24 hours.
For you guys,
but she has like an entourage.
Yeah,
that's
what
but she wasn't always like that. Like, she made her way there.
You guys have like support, right? Like,
heck
you guys have people
my
sister
that are
like do it, And I feel like that's
because I have kids and she has kids. As well.
3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I have 2.
I see people like that, and I'm like, damn. Like I applaud that because it's hard.
It's hard.
Very hard. It's very hard.
Well, we appreciate you acknowledging that because most people really don't. Like, I do feel like some people believe it's super easy.
Yeah, they're like, how hard?
Like,
can it be?
You can shop. Like, you like shopping, but. No, like
I have people tell me you just order the clothes and put it in a hanger. I'm like, I wish you would just order the clothes and put it in a hanger.
My husband wanted to do like a online. Well, he does like side business, but like he wanted to officially do it. And every time he tells me that, I get anxiety because I don't want to be like, collecting important text papers. I don't want to be the person like. Having like a payroll account. I don't want to. And I feel like I hold him back a lot of the time because I don't want that to flourish.
What does he want to do?
Well, he does a lot of things. He's an electrician. Okay. He paints. He does like general contracting.
Like a handyman.
He does like 101 things.
Yeah, he's really good.
So he wants to like
He's building her what is it?
I might have to contact
him. I know.
Pergola.
He's building her a pergola.
There's all these things that he wants to do. And I'm just like, no, it's so much work. You don't understand. And he's always like, no, it's real easy. Like, I've been doing it. Like, let me just do it. Like, in a platform where I can have a lot of audience. I'm like, no. Like, you don't want to open that door. Like, just stay back. So
that's not good.
So I need to know, like, your mentality is like, what made you guys... like cross that, like that fear.
Like what pushed us?
Yeah, like what pushed you to be like, you know what, forget it. Let me just
I go con el dicho del que no arriesga no gana.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to be my own boss. And for me to get there, I had to start somewhere. Yeah. So I had to let go of my fears, had to let go of everything that was holding me back, and I just went for it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think for me, my husband owns his own business. And it's been doing great for the past few years. And so I think really it started with me and my sister and my cousin wanting to do like a food truck. But then COVID hit. And we were so in. We had all the paper applications, everything ready to go. Once COVID hit, we were like, there's no way. Yeah. Food trucks, there's no way. So I kind of was like, I need a hobby. I need to do something. And so for me, it was like my Christmas gift he got with his accountant. She kind of handled the hard stuff for me. So that made it really easy for me.
That's the way to start getting a good accountant.
It made that really just, I was like, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Like everything's
that's what you were
set in
for.
stone and I need to just do the little cute stuff. And so that was what really pushed me, was that all that hard stuff I was focusing on, he really had my back and took over for me because he had already been there. So
he kind of already knew like what
happened, what needed to happen,
and that's the same thing that happened with me. My husband had his business, and he had his accountant.
Yes, you do.
So I just went after the accountant, and she's the one that helped
start
me.
with an accountant.
Yeah,
so I was like, tell Freddie to start it off for you, but don't get too involved.
This is what he's gonna do
because they take over everything.
He's gonna study to be an accountant, and then I have no excuse.
I don't have one.
Right. So how?
I mean, you can still do it.
What pushed you?
Well, I mean, like I wanted to do the part where it was like the putting the style together, the advertising and all that. But when we got to that, like, oh my God, you need to do taxes, you need the license, I hate that with a passion. Like, so I have the person who does my taxes, but when it comes to like putting the paperwork together, managing the money,
that's you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's possible. I mean, and my sister, I kind of hired her. She's like, because I'm always working. Yeah. So when she takes the orders at home, and then she like does like she kind of tells me like, hey, this is how much is in the bank. This is how much we can spend. Like all this stuff. So it helps me like keep my mind the right way, because if not, I it's hard to be like full time over here and then coming home and then focusing on this. Then I have to do all the advertisement. Like I have to make sure that what it's like what we have in the store, it's actually out there like selling. Because if I don't post it, she won't do it. She would not do it. You met my sister. She won't talk to customers. She like I do. She's schedule like
everything.
Yeah,
she likes to be behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And
She's
okay.
Every time I have like people that want to try on clothes, like I schedule like the days and I'm like, look at my schedule, they're gonna be there, and they're like, she's like, are you gonna be there? And I'm like, then why do I have you there then? But it's okay, she helps me so much. So I just did it because that's what I really wanted to do.
It's a dream. You
know?
It has to definitely.
Yeah,
my biggest
you have to love it though, because it is a lot of
as
work.
well.
Yeah, and you're risking your money.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes out of pocket.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm just all over the place, but I need to just stick to one line and just let.
You don't have to start big though. I think that's the thing. People think you have to.
Fear, though.
Okay.
I think everyone, because my aunt had a food truck, right?
Yes, we had a food truck.
And it was crazy, right? People would go there all the time.
It was a lot. The thing with food is though, the food trucks are a lot of work, and you don't see profit until after a year.
But you guys, because I would see her grinding, like since she said I'm open.
Yes, she would literally. Like, the thing with my mom is, though, she had me. So I had to take care of all the paperwork, all the licensing, everything. Everything that had to do with paperwork, she's not from here.
Like, you had to do it for
I
her.
had to do it for her. Right. I had to figure all that stuff out. And I did. I figured it all out. We were up and running, and it was just too much work.
Yeah.
Did anybody help you, or you just knew?
It was me and my mom and my grandma.
But like with the paperwork,
no, nobody helped me.
Does it? Did you ask for help?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I researched for weeks, months.
And see, in our family, there's no entrepreneurs.
Okay.
There's no one that we can like you guys could like call each other.
Yeah.
There's no one that we could be like, hey,
and that's where I was stuck too.
Yeah, no, me too.
Reached out to
I think
an
I would have done it years back, but I didn't know what to do.
She's the one.
Yeah, like I probably been wanting to do this for more than 5 years, more probably, and I didn't know like the paper because I wanted to do everything legal.
Yeah, it sucks because no sabes dónde empezar.
Sí,
y yo creo que es lo que también a veces es difícil porque pues no sabes en dónde,
what to do.
Yes.
Como, you don't know any of it.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, thank God we have internet. I don't know how people before, had opened their own business who have, 30 years of business. I don't understand how they open their business without the research.
Right.
Because I had to do tons and tons and tons. Like, I feel like I was in a computer for weeks trying to figure out this whole food truck thing.
Yeah.
Until finally I did. I was like, okay, I think I know what I'm doing. This and that. I would call people all over. Like, I was on the phone with, people in, Topeka or, people in Kansas City, that I didn't even know. And it was just basically asking questions. And they'd always tell me, if you don't ask questions, that's making you look stupid. So ask questions. It won't make you look stupid.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
I mean, that's how you know. Yeah. Asking questions. Because if you don't, Like, you're not going nowhere.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. So it was hard not having that help. That's why I asked. I was like, the license and all this stuff, like, I had to pay somebody to do all that for me because I hate doing paperwork.
But it might be too because I live for doing paperwork.
Okay, I hate
that's what I do at work. I do paperwork all day long.
Yeah.
So now, to me, like, even then, it was easy because I was just like, okay, I got to print this out. I got to fill this out. I got to mail this in.
Okay, next time I'm going to call you.
Yeah, sure. I swear. So, yeah, like, to me, like I said, it was easy. Okay. It was easy, that part. It was just trying to figure out where it's going, what I need to do, what were the right forms. What were not the right forms, you know, like what else did I need to send in? How much I'm going to pay? How much each license is? You know, like, because everything costs.
Everything.
Like, nothing is free. Like,
Absolutely
even like
not.
For applying to get a license for your business, that costs money. You know?
The name, everything. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. To make your business a business, it costs money. So, so I wanted to talk to you guys about. Forgot. I had it right here, and then I started talking, and then I forgot.
I know.
I wanted to talk about self-love. I feel like Mexican women are the hardest on themselves with self-love.
We were just talking about that.
I feel like we get put so many roles on us that we forget ourselves, that we need to take care of ourselves. And I see that a lot in my mom. And I don't know if it has to do with us being mothers, us being Mexican, us being whatever it is that it is, but we don't ever set time apart for ourselves. Never. Like, my mother, still to this day, she is 48 years old. She has not set any time for herself.
She's
like
so young.
I think self-love in the Latino...
I think it all comes from, like, back in Mexico.
Yeah, definitely put on a back burner.
Yes.
Because I'm a second gen, you know, immigrant or whatever. And so it's like, I think we definitely lead by example. You know, my children, I see them and I know that, you know, they're watching me. And so with my mom being Latina, and I feel like she was just constantly having to work twice as hard. Yeah. That she did. She put that just to the side. Yeah. And she never did that. Her main focus was work. Like, I need to get it done.
They never complain.
And they never complain. They're so humble. Yes. I love it.
Yes. They never complain.
Yeah. And so now I feel kind of selfish when I take, like, a selfish day. You know, like, I do, because it's like I grew up and I didn't see that. Yeah. But you definitely need it.
Yeah, it's very much needed. Like,
right.
Especially with the life that we have now. There's so many Hispanic women now, and I don't know if it's a thing or what, that there's so many single mothers out there now than there was before. Before, it's like a culture thing where you had to stay, tenías que sufrirlo, you know? You had to stay with the man.
Literally, we're raised like that.
Yeah.
With that mentality.
Tienes que aguantar, you know?
It's like, ahora no has escuchado, dice, ya las mujeres de ahora no aguantan. Or ya por cualquier cosa se divorcian. No, like, no es por cualquier cosa. I just feel like before, they were meant, like, they were raised them to, like, deal with everybody's shit, you know?
Right.
Like, they cheated, they were drunk, they were lazy, whatever, but I'm not...
Tóxicos.
We are. No, I feel like the girl and the boy is just as toxic. Her for staying and him for doing it, you know? Right. So, but now I feel like the woman, we're a little bit more supported. So...
Independent.
Independent. But, I mean, the society supports more, like, before... women didn't make literally as much as they make now, even though we're not even close to where men make. Right. But now I feel like women are more like, you know what? It's not as bad to be like divorced with my kid. And before I feel like it was like such a shame.
Yeah. Well, even now, like, Lydia will disagree with me because she had a little spat with her priest. Hasta en las iglesias, like, I've gone to a couple churches where they're supportive in the Catholic community. Yeah. Where they're supportive. They're like, oh, you're a single mother? Like, I went to go baptize my son and my daughter, and they were like, you're a single mother? That's fine, cool. Yeah. Like, they didn't say anything about it. But now Lydia, she'll say something completely different because she had an experience with her son and her marriage and stuff. But, for the most part, I think most of that culture is starting to... como que it's leveling out. Yeah. No, I think with time, things are going to be better for women. But I think it has a lot to do with
also our families, the way they're raised, like
brought up.
the way that we were brought up, especially like my parents. Like I was born and I lived in Mexico for a while, but I love my mom, my tias, and all of them. No, actually, some of my tias are very open minded, and I feel like my mom living here, she's like more open minded, but she still is like, if you get married, you can't get divorced or stuff like that. But actually, my sister and my brother got divorced, and my mom is kind of like, whatever, you know.
but mom, I feel like that too is still, well, maybe in my family, my mom is a lot harder on her girls than she is on her boys.
Absolutely.
Like,
I agree 1,000,000% on that.
My brother gets away with
everything.
But me, like, I was even talking to my grandma last night at my sister's gender reveal party, and she was like, no, ustedes eran bien malos when you were kids, you know, like, y'all were bad.
Yeah.
Like, you te admiras de tus hijos, pero ustedes estaban peor. And I was just like, nah. Jose es el que andaba de mal. Jose was the one. And then she was like, no, eran los dos. Usted también.
Murder.
Yeah.
And the moms will be like, if I'm home later than 11, my mom is like, what are you doing outside? Like, it's already late. A señorita can never be home after 11. I'm like, I'm almost 33. No kids. I work. I pay my bills. And she's the other day they were calling me. I was like 10. It's about to be 11. I'm like, it's like 10, 12.
10.
Like, I feel like I have a... But
sorry, Mom. I have a curfew.
No, I know what you mean. Because after I had my kids, I ended up splitting up with the father of my kids. I went home, back home to my mom, and then I have a house now. But before, it was the same thing. I had 2 kids. And they would still treat me like I was 15 years old.
Yo creo que es por el respeto de la casa.
Even though they
took it far, though. They took it too far. I'll tell you why they took it too far. Because I wasn't allowed to have a boyfriend. I wasn't allowed to go on dates. I wasn't allowed
After you divorced?
After I left him, yes. I wasn't allowed to do any of that.
For like a year now?
For like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Because no, until I left. I literally had to move out, and that's when I started my own life. But while I was with them,
I guess it's just...
nothing. I couldn't do anything.
Did they just want you to focus on your kids?
Yes. Solo de los míos. No, tú tienes tus hijos, tienes que cuidarlos.
Now it's about your kids.
Tienes que enfocarte en ellos.
Yes. Which is true, but I do think you deserve like a second chance, of course.
Well, that's where you lose your self-love.
Exactly.
In that period.
Yes, because I told my mom, I was like, so what, y'all, they're going to grow up.
Yeah.
And they're going to leave the house, and I'm going to be alone.
Right.
I'm still supposed to
Hey, but they are the most supportive.
I get that too.
You do come back, but they'll never leave you like without a food to plate. Yeah. So even though they can talk, they will be like there. You know, at least my parents, no matter what we do, they're like so supportive. And even though they say they're gonna do this, I'm not gonna help you out, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna talk to you, whatever. Yeah. I love them. They won't.
I know. I can. My dad's the hardest on me, and I don't know why, but it always has been that way. But I know that if I ever really needed something, like, he's a phone call away. Yeah. He may not be happy about it. You know why I think is that? Because your dad sees more potential in you than and your others.
Yes. Because I have the same
because he favors more in you than anybody else.
No, I don't know.
I think
She's just like, I'm the favorite. It's okay. You guys all know now.
No,
but I get it too. I get it too, yeah.
I actually believe he sees more potential in you, and that's why he's like, asking for more from you.
That's
yeah.
Sweet. I never looked at it that way.
No, it has to be. He sees more in you than he sees on everybody else. So that's why he's like, no, she doesn't have to settle. She can do better. Yeah. That's how I see it.
My dad sees me like a guy.
Really?
I'm gonna be honest.
My dad, I think he, like, that's why my how do you say, his expectations of a man are so high, because my dad is always like, you can wear $1, shouldn't you make it look like $1 million? My dad, he's always like, you look so good. And like, you lost weight, and like, that makes me so happy.
He doesn't ask my brother to like help him outside, like to pick something up or to put the light on.
But my mom with my brother.
Maybe that's a
yes.
Me.
You're the oldest.
I'm the oldest.
I can see that.
But
my
still, my brother said you're younger than me though.
He puts you to do the yard.
Fucking get him. Yeah, that has to do with anything. Like if he has, like, we had to pick up this generator like 2-3 months ago. He's like, Elisa, ven a ayudarme. And I'm like, but your fat ass son is right there.
Oh, heck no.
But you want me to help you?
I think it's because you are the older.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they see that my parents' term is, eres más movida.
Yes.
Like you move quicker, you think quicker.
So they want it easy. They don't want to be begging them. They don't want to be begging them.
The muscles.
Well, because no, I know, but like she's saying, because our brothers are kind of the same.
Because they're spoiled. That's why they don't want to do it.
So I can completely understand why that's not the first call. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're not. I mean, not to be mean, but they're not very dependable.
To be mean on my part.
Yeah. But why? Maybe not to be mean, because they made them like that.
And they're like, and they have full blown relationships. But like they're married.
Son sus bebés.
Yeah. And I'm just like,
you're like, they're married?
So now, a question for you guys that have kids. You all have boys?
I have a boy and a girl.
Okay, so you guys already saw how your moms treated your brothers. Are you just gonna be the same with your boys? I'm like, as Latinas, please do better. If I have a boy, I'm like, Mom, come on.
My son knows, like, he's got rules, and if he doesn't follow them, he's getting the same punishment
that
his sister is.
I'm like,
but see, I will say, my daughter is 6.
No, don't do that.
My daughter is 6, and my son is 10, and my daughter will run circles around him. True. She's washing dishes. She's answering my phone. She's charging my phone. See, my son's barely tying his shoe, and my daughter's already ready.
My mom treats my brother like a freaking king, but as my mom, who every year I take her on vacation, I have her closet on point. Like she's always in style, shoes, everything. I never forget birthdays. Like I never forget like nothing, Christmas, everything. Mother's Day. I celebrate.
I'm the child, the perfect child. Soy la niña perfecta.
No, but she treats me like I'm not.
I think it's
she expects that from you, like from me.
But from my brother, different, though. I think you guys could agree, a girl and a boy.
Why?
It's definitely different. I think it's because
yo pienso que los niños son más amorosos con la mamá.
That's got to be.
So you get paid with love?
I have a very lovey-dovey daughter. Like,
and my daughter is all her dad.
Style-wise,
I'm lovey-dovey with my mom.
Style-wise, my daughter looks like a little rag doll out of a dumpster.
No, it's not your daughter. But she's so cute.
But my daughter, like, literally, she's so lazy. Like, she's like, Mom, let's go cuddle.
Oh,
let's go home and cuddle.
I want one of those.
Yeah, she'll be like, "Are we having a movie night? I'll go get the popcorn and I'll go get your Snuggie and we can."
Is
snuggle.
She younger though?
She's 6.
Is she the youngest?
Yes, she's. Yes,
so see, here's where I'm indifferent. My youngest is a boy.
Yeah. Mine is,
and he's like that. He really is. Like he wants to always, mommy. Like, you know, if I ask him for a hug, or even if he thinks like I'm just like down and out, he hugs me. As opposed to my other two that just whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But watch when they grow up. That's how they're little, but watch when they grow up.
She's a firework. My daughter.
I think the rules are like they implied like they're set in my household. So they do. They all get the same punishment, like you said. But it's my youngest one who sees the older ones getting in trouble, so he refuses to do that. But he's a boy, and so in turn, it's like
you just have a good boy.
Oh,
yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's not because I want to do what my mom did, because my brother's the same way.
Yeah.
So spoiled.
Yeah.
And he's grown. He's a grown-ass man.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. See, here's the thing. So growing up.
Don't make excuses for your boys, because then you wait till they grow and look what happens.
Yeah, growing up, my brother got all the cool toys. Like, he got, like, the best of the best growing up. He got a freaking the motor scooters when they had first came out? Crashed it same day. Got those big-ass Hummers, like the remote control
I remember those.
I remember that.
Because he's destructive.
Yeah, like he would get the best of the best. But at the same time, I wasn't picky. Like, they would ask me what I wanted for Christmas. I'm like, I don't care. And like, that's how my kids are. Like, my son wants like action figures, like $30 action figures and game systems and, you know, all this stuff. And like, for Christmas, I asked my sister or my daughter, I'm like, what do you want for Christmas? She's like, I don't care. Just anything, whatever. Like, I just want a Barbie, I guess.
Like, surprise me.
Like, whatever, a Barbie, I guess. You know, like, she's not picky. And to my mom, that's like, well, you love him more, or my dad,
they see the differences.
You give him more. Like, why do you treat them different? Or even
so now
like,
she sees a difference, but
yes,
she didn't see
and
it.
no. And she's like, that's why I treat Max the way I do, because sometimes she's like, tú lo tratas mal, le das todo, pero lo tratas mal, and I'm like, no, I'm harder on him because I don't want him to feel like he's spoiled. You know what I mean? Yeah, I give him what he wants, but
see, that's my daughter in our situation. Competitive cheer. She models locally. Her grades are always.
She's so pretty. I've seen pictures of her. She's so beautiful.
Straight A's, you know, and I hold her to that higher standard. She's my only girl. I definitely want to leave knowing like she can take care of herself and doesn't need to depend on a man. So I look at my boys and I'm like, you're boys.
It's your job.
You will always be okay. Yeah. But, and I don't know if it's the Mexican mentality.
I think so.
Yeah, because I would say like, I would be, if I were to die tomorrow, I think that my daughter would be more okay than my son.
But you know what?
You know what I mean? I feel like she would be able to take care of herself better than my son could.
That we instill that mentality, right, on men and on women, but men have a bigger role in a family.
Yeah,
they have to. Like, at least, like my dad, I always see my dad. He had more role than my mom, just because, like, my mom was so busy doing everything. My dad had to be like, hey, let's fix this, or let's do this, or let's take you to the park, or let's buy you your snacks, or, you know, my mom was so busy. And it's the same with me. I'm just like all over the place, chaotic, that my husband's like, hey, Ross wants to go down to the park, or hey, Esme wants to watch a different show. Like, I think men just automatically get put in a negative corner always, like my brother included. They're always like toxic, they're always destructive, they're undependable, they're just mean. Yeah. But like, I think men need to be more loved as a kid.
Yes,
that way when they're adults, everything's acceptable.
Yes, they're able to even transfer that to their children. Because that's so true. Because you're saying that's
because a
true.
guy can go into a relationship and they can't be like, hey, I don't feel like working today. Because my dad would be like, no, ponlo a trabajar. He needs to work because he wants a family. If he got you pregnant, he needs to work. Yes. But like with my son, I can't picture myself like him being 30 with a baby and me being like, hey, like, take a break. Like, don't work. Like,
is your dad was your dad like born and raised in Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that it's that, but I think the thing with Mexican or Hispanic women and their kids is because from generations back, men if you had a boy, it was like, wow, a blessing. If you had a girl, because they keep the last name, they keep the family going. So it was like such a thing, like having a boy. So that's why
that it's still like that. Like,
well, see, I was always told when you have a girl, and I don't know how true this is, or even if it's even true, but like when you have a girl, it's so you can mature. But when you have a boy, it's so that you know what real love is. And so that always stuck with me. And so it's different. Okay. And I hope you experience that one day. Because it's true. It's a different type of love coming from a boy. Yeah. Because it's your mommy, you know.
Your daughter's mommy too.
I understand that, but to my daughter, I think it's true. I think they are more daddy's girls.
They are.
Because that's their first love.
I'm going to have to disagree with that, but my situation's completely different.
Right. Well,
my kids' dad has never really been in their lives. Right. So my daughter is strictly a mommy's girl. Right. She is way more of a mommy's girl than I would say my son. My son, yes, he loves me the same. You know, like, I understand what you're saying in the difference.
Right.
But I feel like I receive the same type of love from both of them. Like, I can't really separate them and say, no, you know, like, yeah, she did in some form make me mature, but I also had to mature when I had my son.
So every situation is different.
You know, like, I had to grow up. Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, it's a different situation.
It's so different, but there's similarities in everything.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so my daughter was my only child for like almost 4 years. Yeah. So she was mommy's girl. As she starts getting older, becoming her own little human, you definitely I feel like right now she looks at me like I'm her best friend. And maybe that's where that comes into play. Yeah. Because I think of my mom as my best friend.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, it's not like, oh, mommy, I love you. It's like, you're my best friend.
Yeah.
Like, if you annoy me, click.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my brother wouldn't do that to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So,
because I've been disrespectful to my mom, and my mom will be the first to be like, no, ustedes me hablan así, pero mi hijo nunca me ha sido así conmigo.
So as my daughter's gotten older, it shifts. The type of love shifts.
Yeah.
And you feel it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she doesn't love me. She absolutely adores me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
it's a different love.
It's a different type of love. Yeah. And it also could be age. You know, because my son's young.
We have a tia who had all boys, and every time I have a conversation with her about kids, she always like says, I wish I would have had a girl. All of my boys have left. They got married, and they're living their own lives with their wives. Yeah. Y las veo ustedes con sus mamás, like, that you guys still are around.
That is true, though.
That is true. Yeah,
because
very true.
Women follow their moms.
Will never leave their mom.
Yeah. That is
no
true.
matter what, they always like
I have
make
to force
sure
my
they're
husband
good.
to have a relationship with his mom.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah, because it's not like, hey, we're going over to your mom's. No, we're not. We're staying home. What are we doing home? Nothing. I'm like, let's go over.
Yeah.
Or he's always telling me, let's go over to your parents. I'm like, why? You have a loving home.
It could be a guy thing, though, because Robert, in our situation, we're always with my family.
Yeah, that's how it is with us too.
Why is that?
I always thought it was because we have the funner family. We're just way more fun.
No.
Sorry, Steve. I'm not saying that your family's boring.
I doubt it. Because my mom and my dad are like old school. They're just like boring. They don't watch TV.
But your mom and your dad are hilarious.
Yeah, they are pretty fun people.
They're so funny. I would just go over there just to talk. I wouldn't even need TV in no situation.
Yeah, they don't have cable. They don't have anything. And I guess people just love going there.
Because they're funny.
Yeah, they're funny.
Because they're funny.
Yeah, they're funny people. But it is different. Because my brother he's more loving to my dad and my mom than I am. It takes me a lot to tell my mom or my dad that I love them. It's the same way.
But maybe you show your affection different.
I do. I'm always helping them. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
But it does take me a long time. So when I see something like touching for a mom or a dad, it always makes me cry because I'm like, why can't I have that bond or relationship? You know, because my kids do with me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see it other way. I couldn't see like my son or my daughter not saying, hey, mom, like, I love you, or hey, have a good day, mom, or hey, you know, you look pretty, mom. I can't tell my mom that. I can't tell my dad that.
Do you think it's because they're old school? Because I can relate.
Yeah,
my dad, we don't hug, we don't say I love you. It's so awkward.
It's very awkward. I would much rather like them tell me they hate me than they love me.
No,
weird. You know what? My parents were like that for a very long time, and I was like that with them, and I've had to learn how to just put it out there.
Yeah, you know I did the same. I did the same. I did the same.
Girl, I'm right there.
My dad, like, he gets drunk, and like that's the only time he'll ever tell me he loves me. But I'll be like, I love you, man. And like I'll just like I love you, and he'll be like, stop. And then I'll go over there and I'll hug him, or like even now, like I've gotten to the point now where like I'll see him even when he's not drunk, and I'll be like, I love you, and then he'll be like, okay. I'll be like, say it back. You know, like I'll have to yell at him, like, say it back. And he's like, I love you. But I know he's like laughing, like he's laughing, but
I bet you anything his parents were not like
no,
that either.
No.
Yeah.
He'll be the first to say that. He'll be the first to say that his parents weren't like that at all. But to me, like I said, I really had to force that on them. Like I've had to be the loving one. I've had to show them like, hey,
what it is.
I need to hear that too. Just like you guys like to hear that, I need to hear that too.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, so you tell me back.
Yeah.
You know, so you tell me first, so you know how I feel.
I'm proud that this generation is breaking like generational curses like that because it's true. I to this day, recently I've started hugging my dad when I leave and my mom. It's still awkward as fuck, but I do it.
It'll get better because I break that. I did the same thing.
And so I get it, but I can relate. It's never growing up. Their way of showing me love was providing or yelling.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's just like lately, like the older that I'm seeing them get, they're getting older. They're getting to a point where like I start seeing my dad having gray hair, start balding a little. You know, like to me that scares me, and I'm like, I don't want you guys to leave this world and me and never have hugged you or ever have told you that I love you or tell you how I feel or to tell you that it's okay to feel the way that you feel.
I feel like in tragedies is where you get closer to your parents.
Yes, definitely.
The sicker they get, or if like they lose someone in their family,
and it shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't.
I hate that feeling. I hate it. But I'm just like, I'm too old to like reverse 32 years of my life.
No way.
Well, here's to breaking that.
But it's never too late, though.
No, it's not. It's not too late. I think it's just like it's uncomfortable for both parties. So to me, it's like let's just live what we can comfortably, and then until we can get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You're like, we'll save that for later.
Yeah.
we'll save that uncomfortable moment for when the time comes.
Because you're so loving to my kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
Like your mom like loves talking about how like she just loves the kids. You know? Just like my mom. My mom's the same way. Like she'll talk about her grandkids all day long.
I think my mom just found the love she needed in her grandkids.
Yes.
It's definitely. My mom has made comments like it's definitely different. Like they do. They love their grandparents, and so maybe that's what they needed. But because we weren't taught that, or you know what I mean, we couldn't show it,
or
we just didn't know.
We didn't know
it's
better.
their time to show you. You know, like I didn't do that with you, but I'm gonna do that with your kids.
Yeah,
but I think it's because it's their job to just like love them. Because with us as parents, they couldn't just be like loving, spoiling, because it's their job to like raise you and be hard sometimes with us because they're building a person like a character or whatever, and their kids, hey, we're just gonna spoil them, and at the end of the day you're gonna go with your parents.
At the same time, like if you really think about it, like, and I see this now with myself because I'm busy, like I have a schedule every week doing this, my job, sometimes at the casino, my kids at sports, like I have a whole schedule. And I don't have, and I feel guilty sometimes. I don't have time for my kids a lot of the time anymore. Just because recently I got busy.
Right.
When we were younger, our parents were working all the time. They were trying to survive.
Right.
They were trying to make ends meet.
Right.
So they didn't really have time to be their parents either, you know, like to be there.
Right.
So I feel like that now that we have kids, like they have time, you know, like now they're like, I didn't have time back then, so now I have time to help her be a parent. You know, like I wasn't there for them, but I'm going to be there for
like a second chance type of thing to like, I get it.
To do what you thought they weren't able to do.
Well, we're going to cut it right there, you guys. I want to thank you guys for coming. I know like this was a long time coming. And I know like schedules are crazy. Yeah. So I do appreciate you guys for making time to coming on here. We will put their names under your name, you know, under your faces.
Yeah.
So under your faces, they will be right there. So is there anything you guys want to say? Anybody you want to shout out?
We just want to invite you guys all to like go to Women's Fair, especially to the Hispanic community. Invitarlos a todos desde el 23 al 25. La Feria de las Mujeres, y esperamos ver más caras hispanas porque usualmente no es lo que se ve. Y vamos a ser las primeras 3 latinas con una boutique.
Y somos muchas.
Somos muchas, sí. So, no hay excusa.
Right.
So, esperamos verlos ahí.
Yeah, let's stay united, what she said.
Yes.
Do you have anything to say, Crystal?
That's all.
She's like, that's all.
Lo dije en español para que no haya excusa porque a veces me regañan. Es que todo dices en inglés. So, está English and Spanish.
Para que se pongan.
Yeah.
Put it in your calendars.
Yes.
You guys can follow. You guys can follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Castbox, Instagram, TikTok. You guys go follow us on TikTok because we have like 5 followers. Just kidding, we have like 50. Twitter, Facebook, and obviously YouTube. Hit that subscribe and like button. And this is Apoco.
Vacilón, ella lo que quiere vacilón. Vacilón, ella lo que quiere vacilar.